Hi, I'm Matthew Yates. I'm the Director and RM for Byfields Advice and Byfields Wealth Management. We're a WA-based firm with a team of about 14 with 4 advisors, and we're mostly dealing with SME clients and a lot of farming clients in the wheat belt over here. So we're new users to CDM, and we are only about 2 months into it, but so far been really impressed with the functionality. We essentially have a part of our business which is insurance clients, and we've found it really hard in the past to collect all the data from the different providers and have a really good vision on where all the clients sit and what they've got, and making it's been made quite hard in the past to report on it and to give clients good service. So this is the solution that we've been looking for, that CDM at the moment seems to be providing quite well. So we found it quite hard. I'm sure a lot of people would as well, dealing with the different platforms that insurers give us to be able to report and look up policies that are in force. We've got quite a large insurance book because the business has been running for a long time, and we've got a large amount of clients who need that cover. And it's been difficult in the past to be able to, as a business owner, know where the policies were, what the sort of demographics of our client base. And in the past, it's been very manual, and it's been a lot of time with our CSAs putting in monthly reports and updating our CRM with that data. We found that data feeds have not been accurate and have not been able to be relied upon. So we were looking for a solution that cut down our time with manually inputting stuff, and also being able to give us a much better overview of everything. At the moment, how we're using it is we're using it in our reviews to run our consolidated reporting on all of the clients' policies, so that when we produce our review reports, or when we are showing stuff to the clients or accountants or people who need to know that information, we're able to run that quite simply and easily from one spot. And one of the other things that we find very useful is the consolidated overdue reporting. So we now have one person in our staff who can jump on there every Tuesday, run a report, send out reports to the advisors to say, these are the guys that are overdue, this is where it's coming from, this is when it lapses, and really have a much better, more consolidated view of the whole firm and where that's sitting. The other areas we've discussed recently how we can use it to be more efficient is discussing with our self-managed super fund team and our audit team, who does a lot of the self-managed super fund compliance work, to be able to potentially run reports at the end of the financial year that can then be put on record ready for tax time, to make sure that we tick our audit boxes and we're not having to call those providers each time they ask for it to get a certificate of currency or to get a statement of premiums paid for the year. So this could cut down some significant time, and all those other areas I mentioned as well at the moment seem to have cut down a fair bit of our time as well. And it's really great to be able to click a couple of buttons and get a very simplified view of how a client is covered and what their costs are. And particularly when you get a request from an accountant who's wanting to know a general picture, we're able to get that general picture together a lot quicker. So far, those are the areas we've found a lot of value in. I think the immediate savings of time is that every month we would have 3 CSA staff jumping onto multiple portals to download information to then update. And what we found with that is that might take those staff members potentially 6 or 7 hours per month per person to get that done. And that normally also came with some errors. So there's a lot of manual handling there. And there's also needs to be a really good understanding of the different types of insurances and how they can be linked, and how stamp duty works and how discounts work. So there was a lot of room for error for that. So you have those normal hours, but then you would constantly need to be cleaning that data all the way through and almost second guessing it every time you would use that data. So, there's the baseline level of probably, close to 20 hours a month plus some from those guys. And then when it comes to the requests we get from accountants and from clients, being able to flick that off to somebody and knowing that's going to take them, all of 2 to 3 minutes, rather than potentially a phone call to a company or, a checking of data and not having the confidence that the data is right, many more hours. So the the cost for the program, yeah, it pays for itself pretty quickly under those numbers. I've made recommendations to many of the other advisor groups that we have contact with to give it a go. It's a very easy process to set up, so you can get an idea very quickly whether it's going to be of benefit to your business or not. We've, particularly with the free trial, by the end of the month, we were looking for where to pay because we wanted to get it underway. So I think a month trial wouldn't even be necessary. You probably need a week, and you'll get a good picture of how it's going to work in your business. It's very refreshing when a piece of software works 90% and you've got a 10% of the time you need to work around, rather than sort of the other way around. And there's we always talk about efficiencies in technology, and when you actually see it for the first time in a long time, it's very rewarding, and it gives me it gives me sort of motivation and excitement to keep playing in the risk space, because in the past it's been such a drag dealing with these providers. You tend to avoid risk, and you tend to avoid that part of the business because of the difficulty you have. This sort of gives you motivation to go, well, actually, maybe this is a place we should be continuing on with and looking to expand.